Hey everybody, here we go again. eChannelNews, we've got Kenrick and Ken, and we're going to talk a bit about the cyber insurance world from RB Cyber Insurance. And what this is all about is about how do you get cyber insurance for your company and your clients as an MSP so you can sleep better at night. And we're going to touch on three things today. There's lots of other videos you can check out on the topic that we've done before. But today we're going to talk about three cool things. So first of all, welcome Ken and Ken.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Julian. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Julian.
Sometimes I don't know which I should say, Kenrick or Ken and Ken. I'm not quite sure, but I'll get it right one day.
Oh, good.
Affordability. Let's kick into this question because everybody thinks sometimes, man, cyber insurance is quite expensive, right? I may not be able to afford it, right? That's a question to you, my friends. What makes your product and how is it affordable?
Well, yeah, that was one of the issues that we wanted to address with your network was the affordability, because we know that the clients are paying the MSPs a monthly fee for their cybersecurity and that, and any other additional costs are always looked under a microscope. So we want to keep our costs as low as possible. And we were able to arrange a deal with Lloyd's of London. Brit is our broker there. That because of being a part of your network and because they're being monitored by an MSP, that their cybersecurity is better than most. So taking that into effect, we were able to get a discounted premium for them. Our average premium for $1 million worth of coverage is around $1,200. So really less than half the cost of a new laptop, which is totally, necessary to run a business, as is insurance. I mean, you can't really run a business without having cyber insurance as a backup. So we were able
100%.
to keep the price down. Yeah.
And Ken, just so as you know, that's before the chips was a shortage. Now that that laptop is
Maybe. Yeah. No, it's about
much
a third the
more.
price. Maybe a quarter the price. Yeah.
So the affordability is definitely a factor, and it's at a point now when it just makes absolutely no sense not to have some cyber insurance protection. And it's just that's the whole point, right? If it was crazily expensive, then why invest that money to keep yourself protected? So that's a really big thing. And let's talk about the other part of this. One of the things that MSPs do is they have many clients, and they'd like to kind of help all their clients to figure out where are they in cyber insurance. First of all, if I were an MSP, I would want to make sure that I knew who had insurance and who didn't, because that's one of the things that end customers go to MSPs to find out how compliant am I to get cyber insurance. Tell me a bit about this bulk upload thing. How does that work? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Take that
speak to
weekend.
I can speak to that if you like. Like Ken was saying, in terms of the pricing, one of the things that we've been able to do is understanding that the MSPs are providing a requisite level of cybersecurity compliance and a solid stack and framework. We know that the risk-based questions have already been answered in terms of simple things like multi-factor authentication, for example, are already in place. Those things are already there. They're able to get preferred pricing. Now, we were talking earlier about the affordability. Well, I think all customers or potential customers have to do is to look at any of the most recent breach data and the cost of recovery, especially in the wake of not having insurance. And the question then becomes not, can I afford the cyber insurance, but can I afford not to have the cyber insurance is really the question. And especially if you plan on staying in business. But in terms of the bulk upload, a customer of one of the Technoplanet family MSPs would already have that standard requisite level of cyber insurance, cybersecurity framework in place. So from our perspective and from our underwriters' perspective, there's very little information that would be needed. So we're positioned to be able to work with the MSP in terms of their sales cycle, how they're offering services to their customer. Maybe it's net new business that they're bringing in and they want to actually offer cyber insurance as part of that. We can take on 2 customers, or we can take on 200 customers at the same time. All we need to know is the company name, their address, and a contact person. and we can turn around within 24 hours. We can turn around a quote for a policy, and we can have that policy, bound and issued, pending payment, of course, very, 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 very quickly. So we've had instances where a client has come to us, for example, and they needed the cyber insurance because it was a requirement of new business that they were trying to acquire, and that's become the standard these days. Is, are you covered? What's your policy? What type of indemnity insurance do you have? What do you have? Do you have cyber? Do you have this much coverage of cyber? So we were able to work with this particular client and get them a quote very, very quickly. They liked the policy, they paid for the policy, and in the end, they actually won the customer because they were covered by our policy, which was great for them. So, yeah, bulk upload is just another way that we can take on customers. We can take on customers with manual quotes if there's special requirements, or we can also have them go to our website and get a quote and even pay for their policy in real time with a major credit card.
Good stuff. And so if I get this right, I'm an MSP, and let's say I got 50 customers, right? And I want to offer them something, right? I get their info, upload it, boom, I get some general quotes, right? I send them a message and say, oh, by the way, if your insurance if you don't have one, or if it's coming up due or whatever, right? I've got a quote of insurance for you, and here's the price, and click here to proceed type thing. Something like this. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, I think you're right on track with that, Julian. They could do something as simple as just send us a spreadsheet with their client.
So it's even easier.
Yeah,
okay.
send us a spreadsheet with your client name, the address of the business, and a contact there. Because in the end, the named insured, there needs to be like a senior person, or maybe the founder of the company. Or,
it's got to execute. It's got to be.
Exactly.
100%.
There needs to be a person in a position of authority at that company. So just provide us that name, the name of the company, the address, put it in a spreadsheet, and we'll turn around and give you quotes for all of them.
Well, I hope MSPs are listening up, my friend, because that would be the first thing I would do, right? Is gather up my clients and send this note. And it's a great way, by the way, for you as an MSP to know who in your client base has insurance and not, right? Because knowing who has insurance or not in the cyber world is probably going to help you decide who you want to, work with type thing. So I'll leave it there.
100%. If you look at the statistics as well, Julian, only about 16 to 18% of small to medium-sized businesses in North America have cyber insurance today. And startlingly, half of them only have that insurance because they were a victim of a recent breach.
They only get it when they need it.
They get it when they need it.
Yeah, really. Buying fire insurance for your
exactly.
Yeah, buying fire insurance for your house after it's burnt down. That's really cool. Look, so that's the second thing we wanted to cover. So affordability. I mean, obviously, it's affordable, right? And then that bulk upload. I think that's a really powerful solution for any MSP to kind of leverage. And the third thing is that you've got some magic things that you've added in there. You've got Watchdog and another product called NeuShield. And these two products kind of work together to kind of add another pair of eyeballs, I like to say, or maybe some additional protection that can work over and above to the side of the current stack that MSPs have. Or if the MSPs feel that they've got that all covered, we don't need to be redundant, right? We can then move along and says, okay, let's forget about this, right? You've got your stuff together, let's roll, right? So whether the MSP has the stack already done or you don't, you just got to decide, do I want the extra pair of eyes or do I don't want it? But maybe if your stack is not that strong, you might say, hey, man, a second pair of eyes is better than no pair of eyes, right? So how does that work out, Ken?
Yeah, so it's totally optional for the MSP whether they want their clients to have it or not. I'll tackle the NeuShield one, and maybe Kenrick can elaborate a bit on Watchdog. But NeuShield is patented technology, so I know a lot of MSPs would have data recovery solutions in their stack, but where NeuShield stands apart is the speed at which it's recovered, and it could be instantaneous, it could be an hour, it could be a day, whereas normally, it might take weeks or maybe months to recover all the data through backups and everything. and it's done through what they call mirror shielding. So you're not really encrypting the data, you're encrypting an image of the data, a mirror image of the data, so it can be wiped clean almost immediately, and your data has really not even been touched. And that, like I said, that's patented, so it's unlikely, unless the MSP already has NeuShield, that they would have anything as quick and as effective as that. So, and again, the pricing on it is unbelievable. We were able to really get a fabulous pricing for them for both the products, which would, if you bought it separately out in the general world, would cost you 5 or 10 times what we're charging. So it's a great product at a great price and great value. So.
It's a good point you make there, Ken, because yes, you may have a backup solution already, but that backup solution could have a lot of problems in actually recovering the data, right? And what you're offering, it was just another way of maintaining this stuff. So in case something happens, right, you can actually get the client up and running much faster. So great point there. And Kenrick, what's this Watchdog thing about? Watchdog, sorry.
Yeah, Watchdog security. Yeah, it's a great product, and again, we've gone out and partnered with both NeuShield and Watchdog, not because of any random reasons. We were very specific and pragmatic in choosing these two technology partners. There's a lot of flexibility there for a small to medium-sized business that they have a very immature stack, or there's gaps in the stack. Now, from an MSP perspective, the key thing is that we did not select a tool or a technology that was going to conflict with any existing stack necessarily. What we did, quite by design, was pick something that is going to complement other tools. So there is integration with Google Workspace and Office 365. There's integration with various MDMs and EDR applications that are out there. There's education and training. There's something built into the platform called Watchdog University for a lot of cyber awareness training. There's over 60 courses on the platform right now, and more are being added as we speak. There's elements in there for vendor management, for compliance, for policy management, and the list goes on. So it's a quite comprehensive platform. RB Cyber are users of the platform ourselves. We don't just prescribe it as an add-on to our cyber insurance product. We actually are users of the platform, and we've used it for our own compliance and our own vendor management. So it's a really good tool. We've negotiated incredible pricing for it that any individual policyholder or MSP could not get this pricing on their own if they were to try and procure the product themselves. So they're getting really the cost benefit ratio is heavily in their favor to use this product. But again, in my experience, a lot of managed service providers and IT infrastructure designers and creators always think that, or generally think that, what they have is the best thing, and that's fine, especially if it does meet the minimum requirements of what a good cybersecurity framework should have in terms of encryption and multi-factor and all of these other wonderful things. But then again, I go back to, we did not pick this because of any potential conflict. We picked it because it can stand on its own, but it can also complement existing tools. So it's worth taking a look at. For mature MSPs with really strong cybersecurity stacks and frameworks, just take the insurance then.
Yeah,
we're fine with that, and so is our underwriter. So we're providing options. That's what we're doing.
100%. So there you have it, folks. You got, I'd encourage everybody to kind of just jump on and check it out. There's a website as well where you can just simply go, enter some information, and it'll get your quote. I think, 10 minutes? You can get a quote?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
About that?
About 7 questions, yeah.
There you go. 7 questions, get a quote, figure what it is. If you're an MSP, the real big thing here is that you can actually find out which of your clients have insurance and not for cyber. And it's a very great way to kind of offer something that, by the way, they may actually thank you of offering. And I just want to say with the affordability factor, we want to all find ways for our customers to save money these days. And if they could save, X dollars from this, then they can put that money towards something else that you want to offer them. So, and the fact that Watchdog and NeuShield are complementary or standalone, if you want, right? You have a choice as well, right? So that's a great way for you to help your clients get up to speed and, I don't know, start pushing back on this cybercrime problem we're all having. Nobody likes cyber crime, right? Yeah. Obviously. And it's a thing that you need to solve. And I think the only way you can really sleep at night is with some kind of an insurance coverage. And I didn't even mention my favorite part of this whole thing, which is that if, God forbid, you do get a cyber breach, it triggers with a 1-800 number, a cyber incident response A-team. And they I don't know if they physically parachute down. I use what I use, but they will actually jump in there, get a case agent assigned to you, make sure you got the legals, all the stuff that you need. And their job is to recover as quickly as possible and help you get back up and running. So if something does happen, if you've done all the things you could protect, as we say, the left to boom, right? And something does happen, well, guess what? That's really when the insurance company kicks in, because they don't want to pay as much as you don't want to lose your business. So they're able to help you get spun up with the right IR team. And that's another level of protection that I personally believe is the most important factor here. So there you have it. And for them to learn more and get a bit of a quote, what's the website address?
The website
rb-cyber.com.
Yep.
All right, folks. Again, congratulations and thanks for trying to make cyber insurance, achievable by everybody, reachable. So congrats. Thanks.
Thank you, Julian.